So, the day before yesterday, I talked about this decoding Trump's crazy talk about NATO, peace talks, and Canada. And we're talking about specifically how, we're going to make Canada the 51st state. That's a non starter. Nothing's going to go there. I think Trump was just trying to get concessions of some sort. And that's still my working theory. Now, I want to talk about what's going on with Greenland. Greenland. Why are we even talking about Greenland? Okay. For decades, or Denmark rather, has been the most loyal ally of the United States. It even secretly accepted the United States having nuclear weapons in Greenland some years during the Cold War. But now Trump is on a full collision course with its ally. So why? What is going on? And here is Trump in a press conference talking about this.
You didn't rule out military coercion.
Well, we need Greenland for national security purposes. I've been told that for a long time, long before I even ran. I mean, people have been talking about it for a long time. You have approximately 45,000 people there. People really don't even know if Denmark has any legal right to it. But if they do, they should give it up because we need it for national security. That's for the free world. I'm talking about protecting the free world. You don't even need binoculars. You look outside, you have China ships all over the place. You have Russian ships all over the place. We're not letting that happen. We're not letting it happen. And if Denmark wants to get to a conclusion, but nobody knows if they even have any right, title, or interest. The people are going to probably vote for independence or to come into the United States. But if they did do that, then I would tariff Denmark at a very high level.
Okay, so then I'm going to tariff Denmark. Okay, so I think that's part of the negotiation kind of thing, but I could be wrong. So I'm just going to lay out some things and let you decide what's going on here. Okay, so that's the first thing. Now, here's another view. Ron Filipkowski, he's arguing that the Danish news is reporting that many of the people wearing MAGA hats in Don Jr. and Charlie Kirk's Greenland videos were homeless, rounded up from the area, including one man they found under a bridge to come into the restaurant for a photo op and a free meal. Let's say that that's the case. If that's the case, why would they be doing what they're doing, setting up this staged thing? So let's look at the stage thing. Trump shares a video of Greenland residents asking him to buy the island. Donald Trump posted a video showing Greenland residents wearing Make America Great Again hats, expressing their support for U.S. President-elect and urging him to purchase the island. So here's the video itself. Let's watch that.
If you could say anything to Donald Trump, what would you tell him?
God bless you. You are so strong and we love you so much.
Do you want to be part of America? Yep. You do. You do. Also, what do you think?
I have a feeling this guy does too.
Do you want Donald Trump to buy Greenland?
Greenland. More life. More. So beautiful land.
God bless you and you are great.
Your guys' message for President Trump.
President Trump, he is the greatest on the earth.
Do you want America to buy Greenland?
Yep.
And what do you think is going to get better in Greenland if Trump buys the country?
Education system and healthcare systems.
So you're not a fan of what Denmark has in place for you guys right now?
Must take care of us.
So you think you would be better off associated with the U.S. rather than
Do we need to make Greenland
So
great?
my first question is, where do they get all these Make America Great hats? I mean, I'm sure there's not like lots of people running all over Greenland. Well, I'm not sure. I'm assuming that there are not lots of people running all over Greenland wearing Make America Great Again hats, that, they probably just handed them out for the video. But something seems a little off here. And, let's watch the rest of the video before I say anything
Great
else.
again?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so I'm skeptical about that video because something just doesn't seem right. It doesn't, there's not been any reports about Greenland really desiring to become a part of the United States until Trump started talking about this here recently. Now, what else is going on here? Anders Puck Nielsen was talking about this in the video just a day ago, and I watched it and I thought, he got covered a number of really good points. So 2 points we want to talk about. Let's talk about first the military point, and then can Denmark actually even sell it? Okay, let's talk about the military point first.
Talk about it. The first thing to note is that Donald Trump's interest in Greenland is not related to concerns about military security. Greenland is very important for the security of the United States because it's located in a position where early warning radars can detect incoming Russian intercontinental ballistic missiles. So Greenland is very important for missile defense and nuclear deterrence. But the reality is that the United States already has all the access it could want to Greenlandic territory. They already have an early warning radar at Pitufik Space Base. That's the one that used to be called the Thule Air Base. And if the Americans want to expand their military presence in Greenland, to build installations in other places or station more troops there, they can pretty much just ask the Danish and Greenlandic governments. So they would probably be allowed to do so if they actually asked. So unless Donald Trump is envisioning a future where the United States is no longer allied with Denmark, then there's really no military need for him to gain ownership of Greenland.
Okay, so that was the first point. Now let's hear him talk about whether he can even buy it from Denmark.
The reality is that it is an absurd idea and it is a hopeless project. And there are two very important reasons for that. The first one is about how Denmark and Greenland are connected in a constitutional sense. So if we go back in time, Denmark was a colonial power. Denmark was at the center and the Danes had control over other countries such as Norway and Iceland and the Faroe Islands and Greenland. And at that time, it was possible to sell a colony to another country. So, for example, Denmark sold the islands of St. Thomas, St. John, and St. Croix to the United States in 1917. But that's not how things work anymore. In the modern era, the Kingdom of Denmark is best understood as a federation consisting of 3 different countries. There's Denmark, the Faroe Islands, and Greenland. The Faroe Islands and Greenland have extensive independence, and they can make most of their decisions on their own. There are a few political areas that are still decided in Copenhagen. That's mostly those concerning national security. So it's still the Danish military that has the responsibility for the physical defense of Greenlandic territory, and it's not possible for the Greenlanders to build their own independent military. But in most areas, the Greenlanders have extensive independence and they can decide pretty much whatever they want. There are some areas where they have decided not to exercise that right to independence because they don't have the state bureaucracy to manage all that, and they are happy in those areas to delegate those decisions to Copenhagen. But if they want to, they can take responsibility for those areas as well and get more independence. So this is what Donald Trump clearly does not understand. Denmark and Greenland are 2 separate countries that are connected constitutionally in something that in practice is close to being a federation. People in Denmark generally do not consider Greenland to be their country. Greenland is the country of the Greenlanders. So
okay, so we're going to stop there. So it's a non-starter to talk about buying it from Denmark. You'd have to deal with the Greenlanders. You'd have to deal with perhaps Denmark for some reason. You can watch the rest of that video and get more about this, but that's a good start. Okay, with the crazy Trump circus all over the media, I kept hearing from reporters that Greenland is the largest island in the world. Well, if you compare it actually to Australia, it's a little bit different. But on a map, it looks like this is this huge thing, and Australia is tiny. But this is because of the curvature of the globe as opposed to what it is on a flat map. And so it's not actually as big as you'd say. And they also say that Greenland is icy and Iceland is green. I don't know. I've not been there, but if you know anything, put that in the comments below. Here's a different picture. Here's the Earth's globe. And yeah, Greenland's now, why is Greenland potentially important? And that's because the Russians keep going up here and talking about, and the Chinese talking about Arctic adventures of trying to take more Arctic territory. And so Greenland might actually be significant, but they're already an ally. So I'm not sure what the problem is here either. Now, this is an interesting twist to it. Julia Davis put this out. She's the person behind the Russian media monitor. And she said this: the Danish intelligence has accused Russia of forging a 2019 letter to Senator Tom Cotton claiming to be from Greenland's foreign minister and alleging that there'd be an independence referendum. Tom Cotton claims that to have given Trump the idea to buy Greenland, and that's according to Reuters. Now here's the actual letter itself. On behalf of the government of Greenland, I want to express appreciation for supporting our country in the fight for a better future. We are sharing your position on the necessity to develop a mutually beneficial cooperation between the United States and Greenland, common economic projects, social and environmental environmental programs, as well as the cooperation. The security issues in the region are most important elements of functioning and development on the island in the near future. The successful realization undoubtedly depends on the degree of the U.S. and Greenland integration. Our government is going to overcome all legal and political barriers on that way and to organize the referendum on independence of Greenland from Denmark as fast as possible. Now, wouldn't it be something if that was some kind of Russian psych op? I mean, it's possible. I just don't know. Okay, now there's another theory here. This is Senator Chris Murphy of Connecticut, and he's saying when Trump talks about Canada or Greenland or Panama, it's just a clickbait distraction so that we don't pay attention to his central goal of putting massive tax cut in for his billionaire and corporate friends. Now, he's going to be biased one way, and we understand that. There could be some truth to Senator Murphy's concept that maybe all this talk about other things is so that we're not focused on this. So there's a distraction theory here, there's a Russian plot theory here, there's all kinds of things. Now, my working theory is that Trump does these zany kind of things to get concessions. In my observation, that seems to be the way that Trump tends to negotiate. So I'll leave you with something a little bit more humorous. This is the senator from Pennsylvania, John Fetterman. He's a little bit of a loose cannon himself, and he's being interviewed as he's coming out of his office because he's going down to Mar-a-Lago to meet with Trump. And they're asking him why, and he doesn't want to actually give an answer, but his answer was priceless.
Senator, can we ask you what you hope to get out of your visit to Mar-a-Lago to talk to Donald Trump?
What are we talking about here? Is there some news?
There's some news. We hear that you're going to be heading down to Mar-a-Lago.
Yeah, I've heard that. Yes, I've heard that. Yeah.
What will you be discussing with the president?
Well, yeah, I demand that I need to be made Pope of Greenland.
Do you have the resume to be Pope?
I'm having a conversation like he's the person.
He demands to be made Pope of Greenland. Okay, well, that's all. Tell me what you think, because I really honestly do not know what is going on here or why he's doing this. I'm just trying to present the facts as I see them out there. And so if you know something I don't know, put it in the comments. Thank you for your time. Thank you for the likes, the shares, and the subscribes, and for being the kind of person that cares about Ukraine.